Welcome back to Home Life with Rebecca. We got a lot of snow. So this is out our back door. Me and Parker just shoveled a little path. Kind of don't want to get my pants wet, but I thought we'd go see how deep it actually is so far. It's still coming down. It sure is pretty though. Well, probably need to change my clothes because I just fell trying to get off the little hill. So covered in snow now. Hi guys, welcome back. I only have a few minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave the part where I was gonna do like a day in the life and I was trying to show you the snow and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that on here, but we're gonna be talking a little bit about budget today and about something that my father did for us. But with that being said, it's been so cold. School was canceled for 2 days here because we were like at -30. Like you literally could not go outside for a few minutes even, or your skin, any skin that was exposed felt like it was on fire. Even like with gloves on, like it was not good. Kids are back at school today. Our high is like 5 degrees, which is a whole lot warmer than like -30. But I only have a few minutes because I have an IEP meeting for one of my kiddos. So we've been tweaking the budget. So it's been taking so long because my husband only gets paid once a month, and January was just kind of a weird month because we were trying to figure everything out. And then there was some credit card debt that I did not know about. So we're now on the same page. We have everything written down. I mean, to the nitty gritty. I am not using that Rocket money. I had mentioned that. We looked at it and then you end up having to pay for it. So I don't want to do that. We're going back old school Dave Ramsey method, which we've used before in the past. My husband was rereading the book. I've been watching or listening to the podcast again. Just getting back into that frame of mind, that whole snowball thing. I mean, we don't have a ton of credit card debt, but it's enough because we are a one income family. I would like to get rid of it all. So it's almost $9,000, but some of that is because the Home Depot and our Lowe's credit cards are really high right now. Most of that's what it is. And then we've got like a Kohl's card. We have an Amazon card. That one I did not know about. We have like a Sam's Club, a Costco, we have a Capital One. We have a Care Credit, which that one I'm gonna keep because I can use it like because we're on Medicaid, me and the kids, not Adam. His work insurance was way too high, so that one's nice to keep in case there's an emergency. Like Allison's getting her wisdom teeth pulled next week, and Medicaid only covers 2 teeth. She only needs 3 pulled, so I would have to pay out of pocket for the 3rd tooth, but I can use the Care Credit if I need to. I can use that, or I use it for like the vet, like if Cooper gets sick or the cats need shots, So we are going to keep that one. And then we have a Kohl's card, but there's nothing on there. We're pretty good about paying that one off. I didn't know we had a Costco card, so he had put some like tools and stuff on there that I was not aware about. And then he had told me, or I thought he had told me, that our trailer was completely paid off, that he got last summer when we decided not to get another vehicle. He was talking about getting a truck at one point, but we didn't want a car payment, so we got a trailer so we could haul stuff, which we needed. But it's not paid off. It will be. It's got like 3 more payments left. That comes out of it's auto pay. That's like $120 a month. But when the credit cards, and I added them up, and some of it is with the home insurance money that we got for like when the leak happened. We decided that money is set aside. We haven't touched it, to go ahead and use the Home Depot and Lowe's, because you just get better deals that way, and like 20% off every time you use it. So, but I went ahead and like added it on there, even though it's basically coming from a different source, because it was hard to go break it down like, okay, this we used with that and this we didn't. It was just too hard. But basically we have about almost $8,000 credit card debt, but you can go ahead and minus about 5,000 of it because it'll be paid with insurance money. But still, with the trailer and everything, I don't like to have any debt. So when we get our tax return, we're going to use our tax return to go ahead and pay the rest of that off, pay the trailer off. We're going to go back to using the envelope system. He only gets paid once a month, so it makes things tricky, which means we really had to do kind of a shoestring budget and go back to the basics. So he makes, after taxes are taken out, $3,515. It's not a lot. And then I get about 700 SSI for Kennedy. So, and I went ahead and added, like, I'll go ahead and read it to you. So our mortgage, our electric, which is really high in the winter because of the space heaters, and if we turn the ceiling heaters on, we decided to wait on the units because we don't have $20,000 and we don't want another loan right now on top of, trying to fix this. So our electric bill, it was like $700. But because we are a low income family, we were able to get help with that because there are resources available. And then, so that I added it anyways, even though we got help paying that off this last month for January. It's February 1st today. Our cell phone bill is $160. That's 3 lines, but my son pays his line, so he gives us $50 every single month. He pays for his own phone. And then our internet is like $90 a month, but somebody was telling me about, because we're, again, low income family, that there is something through the school that we might be able to get our internet bill dropped. So I'm going to be looking into that. You just always want to look at resources, what's available. It doesn't mean that, I think sometimes people don't want to use that kind of thing because they think, oh, there's people worse off, or, we don't need it. But use it because that's what it's for. And if you fall into the bracket of low income, then use it. Otherwise, it's, just going back to the wherever it goes. So, use it. So we fall into that bracket. So I'm like finding out things like, hey, I could probably get help with our internet as well. So I'm going to look into it, just like I got help with our electric, and we can get help with our water bill too. But our water bills, it's not bad. In the winter, we don't use as much water versus like summertime. It usually jumps up about $100 because we have a really big yard. But that's water and trash combined. We have 4 trash cans. We are going to be getting rid of 2 of the trash cans. We don't need them anymore. We'll be getting rid of them next month because the bathroom hopefully will be done by then because we've been throwing stuff away. We had 4 before because when we mowed the lawn, we had so much like grass clippings that it would take up like literally 2 trash cans and we wouldn't have any room for trash. And we're a big family. We're 8 people. And I'm not good about like zero waste or any of that kind of thing. I need to be better. But taking back 2 of the trash cans next month is going to save us, put $50 back in our pockets because the lawnmower that we have now mulches it or whatever, so we don't need that many trash cans. And then our car insurance is $150 a month. Yeah, so we've called around. I really didn't find a better deal for that. I have 2 kiddos that are at the age to drive now, but they need behind the wheel, which I've actually set aside the money. That I've been strict about. I put that money aside a while ago. It's sitting there when they're ready to do behind the wheel, but it's kind of a catch-22 because they need to be working to be able to afford car insurance because we can't afford it, especially like my son, because he's a boy, he's 16. And then my daughter's like, oh, maybe I'll just wait because she's almost 18, and then I don't even know if she'll need behind the wheel, even though she probably should still have it. So I'm not sure. She's not working right now. She just graduated high school. She's getting her wisdom teeth pulled, like I said, next week, and then when she heals from that, she'll look for a full-time job until August when she goes to college full-time. But then she'll have to work part-time, but they also have a great grandmother that said once they are in college and they're doing well, they do well that first semester in college, not high school, that she would give them an allowance for car insurance and even help pay for a new used car. So if they can just hold on a little bit, I know it's hard, especially in Idaho because you can drive here at 14. It's ridiculous. because we just can't afford it. I know they feel like, oh, you know, parents don't trust me. They're doing really well with that whole part. It's not even about trust right now. It's about, I can't afford it. They'd have to help, and they really can't afford it. So, and then we have our life insurance, which I'm not getting rid of. You know, me and Adam have that in place in case something happens to one of us. We're covered, or if something happens to both of us, whoever gets my kids, will be able to take care of my family. And then I've got tithing in there that we tithe every single week, and that comes out automatically. I've got Google Photos in there, and that's $2.99 a month. Not bad. I need to keep that because my laptop does not work. I do all my editing on my phone, so I have to make sure that's basically I'm paying for a little bit of extra storage so I can keep making these videos. Sorry, I keep looking at my clock, so I have to leave in a few minutes. We have, so okay, I forgot one, the TV streaming. I had it at like $60, but I crossed out because we canceled everything except Amazon Prime. So we have Cooper snoring. We have Amazon Prime that comes with Amazon Music because I'm keeping Amazon Prime because I like it. So we can just watch TV with that. And honestly, like Netflix and all that stuff, Disney, like the kids weren't really watching it. There was nothing new on it, and they just watch everything on YouTube anyway. So, and then Hulu, we have that, but it's free because we have ads, and it's terrible. I'm just gonna say it's terrible with the ads because the ads are so long. I can't. My brain like cannot handle Hulu, and there's nothing really new on there anyways that anybody wants to watch. So the kids were fine with us. I keep spitting, sorry. Kids were fine with us canceling that. Also, I have a thumbnail thing that I use for my YouTube channel, and that's $25 a year. It got paid in December. I thought about canceling it because I really only use it for Vlogmas. So we'll see. It's already paid, so I put a little thing on my calendar when it's coming up next December if I'm going to cancel it. Epidemic Music I use for YouTube. That's $15 a month. I think it's more now, but I got locked into it when they first started up. I like it because some of my, especially if I keep continuing to vlog for the city, I like to use that background music, and none of it will get me, what's it called, like demonetized or copyrighted. So they have a really good selection. So that's $15 a month. I think that's important for the channel. I'm keeping that. I even put things like salt because we have a water softener thing. So we have to buy salt for that machine every single month, and that's between $15 and $25 a month because sometimes the price goes up and then it'll go down. So I get hair dye every 2 months. The kind that I like that works in my hair is the L'Oreal Preference. Is it the Preference or the Excellence? I can't remember, but it's about $13, $15 at Walmart, Target, those kind of places. I get it for $8 on Amazon Prime, so I feel like it's worth it. I get my razors on there, get those every month. I've got 4 girls that shave. Razors are expensive. Adam canceled his razors though because he was in that like shave club or whatever. I think he was paying like, I don't know, like $10 a month, but he canceled it because he has so many razors because he doesn't, right now he has a beard, that he just ordered an extra handle so that him and Parker can just use those razors until they're gone because there's a ton of them. And then I get mascara and some like foundation delivered to me like every 2 months, and that's like $15. So I went ahead and added that in also. So like I said, he makes about $3,500 after taxes are taken out, and all of that added up, and that wasn't including like groceries or gas or any of that stuff, put us at almost $3,000. So that's not good. Like we're almost in, we are on the negative because you consider you've got groceries, gas for the car, household items, birthdays and anniversaries that come up, and I've been horrible about putting money in envelopes. Christmas, date night, the little let's go grab a $1.05 from McDonald's, let's order a pizza. It all adds up. So we are going to be really strict with that when we pay off all this credit card debt with our tax return. Usually it's in March. That's going to put almost, we'll put almost $400 back in our pocket. No, not 400. 330 is what I calculated back in our pocket, and that's huge. And then with the trailer being paid off, there's another $120 put back in our pocket, and we're going to be going back to the envelope system. I averaged about $100 a month of gas for the car. Basically because my husband has a work truck now from the school district, so he just drives that and he gets a gas card. So it dropped our gas price down because he's only driving the car to and from work, and sometimes he just leaves it there and takes the work truck home, which they can do for, oh, I've got something in my eye, snow days. But you know, the Expedition takes a lot of gas. Sorry guys, I don't know, something's in my eye. And I have a lot of appointments. But that's another resource I found. I've got one of my kiddos a new therapist, and I requested a case manager. And what the case manager can do is they put me on this thing where they fill out a form for me, and basically for that kid and for whatever other kid starts going to therapy, I can get it for Kennedy too. I've had it before. I don't know why I stopped using it. They'll pay me back the mileage, so I'm going to be taking advantage of that too, because that's gonna like probably just, you know, our gas bill is probably gonna be like $30 a month instead of over $100 a month. So I'm really gonna utilize that. I'm gonna start putting $20 a month for Christmas and $20 a month for birthdays and anniversaries, and $20 a month for like date night or rainy days for the kids, you know, just stuff to do. And household items is going to be included with groceries. So I've got about $685, $585, $685, because sometimes when there's a holiday, you spend a little bit more. I would like to try to get it below $500 like I've done in the past. And that's including like toilet paper and all that jazz, but I don't know if that's possible. I put back out the cloth napkins. We're going to slow down on using paper towels. And I also found out, like, because the diapers and wipes, they cost a lot of money. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be doing cloth diapers for my 8-year-old. It's not happening. But I did find a program too that somebody told me about that I'm going to utilize. What is in my eye? Where I can get diapers and wipes for free for Kennedy because of her disability. So all these things I'm looking into, because that's, you know, that's going to save us a lot of money, because pull-ups aren't cheap. And if I'm not putting her in pull-ups and I put her in underwear, even if I line it with panty liners, and she has accident after accident and I'm throwing underwear away, panty liners aren't cheap. You know, so all of that's going to help. Just down to the nitty gritty, just not going to be making any unnecessary purchases. I told myself, don't go to Hobby Lobby because I'll tend to like be like my husband. If he goes to like Ace Hardware or, you know, one of the tool shops, like he'll randomly spend money that we don't have. I am guilty of doing that. At Hobby Lobby, I'm like, oh, you know, stickers are 40% off. It's not that much. And then I walk out of there and I've spent $25 that we really didn't have. So got to stop doing that. But going back to the Dave Ramsey method is going to lead me back to something that my dad did for us. But I will talk about that after my meeting, because yeah, it's pretty big, so I'm excited to share it all with you. Okay guys, I'm back from my meeting. So because we're going back to the Dave Ramsey method and the envelope system, we're going to be making envelopes, and I found this cute little thing that I'm going to be keeping our envelopes in. I've had these forever, I've just never used them. So I'm going to have a grocery envelope, I'm going to have Christmas, birthdays, rainy day envelope, and household items. So I'll probably will separate the groceries from like toilet paper and stuff like that. But he also says you should have at least $1,000 saved up, like an emergency fund. So long story short, because I know some of you have heard the story, we paid off all our debt with the settlement that we'd gotten. And I mean, it wasn't like a ton of money, but it was enough that we paid off any credit card debt we had, and we paid off our car so we wouldn't have a car payment anymore. And then we were able to put pretty big amount, not big amount, some money aside to our savings account for like an emergency fund. And we bought our house too. So, you know, becoming homeowners, and I'm very thankful, but it seemed like the minute we bought the house, there started to be issues, like our water heater went out, and that goes with the like the Home Depot card too. Our refrigerator broke. We had to get a new stove, just like a new lawnmower, like one thing after another. And then we had a huge leak back in June, and we do have homeowners insurance, but the estimate they gave us to put like new tile, because the leak was in not our bathroom, but the bathroom next to it, and it leaked all the way down into the basement into my daughter's bedroom, and it's just been a big mess. So the company we were going to use, like, they gave us the estimate to like put new tile up. It was just like, just for the tile alone was going to be like $1,800. And so we're like, you know what? Plus they weren't calling us back. And so they were just like sitting on that money, and we got the money back, decided to do the work ourselves with some help with friends. And honestly, it's not been easy. It's been very stressful. But as we started peeling things back, we started finding more damage that if we just would have used the company to just fix the tile and just the damage that you could see, it would have been bad, because in the long run, other issues would have arose. And so we would have been tearing out new tile, because it ended up, our floor ended up being rotten in the bathroom. Part of the wall was rotten. It wasn't good. Like, we ended up having to tear all the floor out, the toilet, the sink, everything needed to be replaced. But we're doing it ourselves. But I mean, that just kind of killed some of our savings, because I knew that wasn't covered from what the homeowner's insurance gave us, even though we were like estimating low and not doing like the tile, and we were doing the vinyl backing on the shower instead. But just unexpected expenses, it just kind of drained our savings account that we had built up. And then just when my dad got sick, and my family had helped get us down there, but we had to put like $800 on like that Capital One card to get like a luggage rack, and they're just expensive. But I mean, that to me was a true emergency. But so my dad, even with as sick as he is, and he's on hospice, never stops being a dad, and he's worried about us. Like, he knows that I can't go run out and get a full-time job right now. It wouldn't work. It's too many therapy appointments. He knows how hard we try to be careful with our money. You know, things happen. We're not perfect. Like I said, I'll go spend $25 at Hobby Lobby on stickers when I shouldn't, and Adam will, go get Kennedy a Happy Meal when we shouldn't do stuff like that. Like, I get it. Nobody's perfect. And sometimes you just have to, live a little bit too. Like, so it's not like we're out blowing our money on like these expensive vacations or new cars and like a whole new wardrobe or anything like that. We're very frugal at Christmas time. Just things happen. And I think my dad was just like kind of worried about our situation and the stress I was under. And so he was asking his church for prayer for my family. Like, they asked my dad, how can we pray for you? And that's just the kind of man, the kind of father my dad is. Instead of saying, pray for my pain and, pray that I beat this, or you just pray for, comfort because he's on hospice. It was pray for my daughter's family. They're just having a really rough time. He didn't ask them for money. He didn't tell them our financial situation. He just said, we're having a hard time. I've got 6 kids. I'm running around like a crazy woman with my head cut off, getting them to all these different therapy appointments and testing, diagnostics, and just, that things were hard, and that, my husband works really hard to support the family, and I'm trying to be there for the kids and juggle everything. And said, we were out of bathrooms, so like basically 8 people are sharing one bathroom, and and it was amazing. Like, they rallied together, these people that I've never met before, because I'd never been to this church that my dad went to, took up an offering for our family, and we were blessed with enough money that it built our savings back up, and enough money that I can, don't have to use the care credit for Allison's tooth next week. I can just pay cash for it. It's not like a huge amount, but for her tooth. But I couldn't believe the kindness of complete strangers that they would do this for my family, because they care about my dad so much. And I was just blown away. Like, I was so grateful. And then they even told me, like, now the women's ministry at this church is taking up a donation for my family as well. And I was like, I cannot wait to someday to pay that forward, and to give back like that. Like, it is such a blessing. Like, it just kind of took a burden off my shoulders. I can put that money back into the savings, start my envelopes now without having to pull, because we're kind of like starting over. I mean, like I said, our debt's not, $10,000, $20,000. It's not bad. Some people would probably laugh and say like, oh, that's nothing. That's easy to pay off. But when you're a one income family, and my husband really makes like, I think it's $20 an hour, and there's 8 people in our household, and with Kennedy's SSI, that's still not a lot. I mean, basically Kennedy's SSI is groceries for the month, honestly, if you think about it. It's hard. It's hard to build up that savings, and you know, just the fact that when we get that tax return, we're using it to pay off credit cards. We're not doing anything fun at all this time. Maybe we'll go out to dinner. I don't know. We're just, you know, I think we're pretty smart with stuff like that, but we did get a little bit too relaxed, you know, going through the drive-through, stopping at the gas station to get soda, just buying stuff at the grocery store we probably didn't need, things like that. I mean, nothing major. Just the credit card thing started racking up again. Like, we really shouldn't have like bought the lawnmower and stuff, unless we were paying cash for it. Like that, we were just starting to fall back into like old habits. So that's what I mean, like kind of like starting over, getting rid of like Netflix, and because it's not cheap anymore. I remember when we first got Netflix, I think it was like $7.99 a month, or even cheaper than that. It was like, I don't know, there's nothing to watch anyway. You know, I'm gonna go get a new library card so that like Coffee with Kate does, just go rent DVDs or whatever. You can get like seasons of TV shows on DVD, but honestly, my kids really don't watch TV that much. They play a lot of Roblox, probably more than they need to. I've got some readers that they read on their computers. Like I'll read on my phone sometimes. I've got kids that like to do arts. I mean, they're, you know, they play volleyball. My oldest son likes to skate. Well, when it's warmer outside, he's been going snowboarding and stuff with his friends. But it wasn't like a big deal to give up the TV and stuff. And now, if I would have said I'm shutting off like the Amazon Music, like the streaming for music, that probably would have been a big deal, because I've got teenagers and they all like to listen to music. That's how they unwind. It's how they helps them to do homework. So I get it. Music is very important. They would much rather have music than TV shows. And like I said, most of the TV shows you can find on DVD at the library anyway. So just kind of a shoestring budget. Gonna be better about not going out to eat. Not that we went to like sit down restaurants. We hardly ever do that unless it's a gift card. But just, you know, when Kennedy's like, oh, I want a Happy Meal, or we get the $1 fry from the app at McDonald's, all that stuff adds up. Or like, I'm really bad about when I go to get gas, running in there and getting myself a Coke, or just soda. Like, stop buying soda. I was doing really good at not buying soda at the store. Because when he worked for Coke, he would get it for free anyway. But now, like, I'm like, oh, like, it's not cheap. Like, it's not cheap. Even for the liters aren't even cheap. They're like $1.89 now if you don't get the generic. So just need to be mindful about things like that. And I'm just so grateful that my dad's church, like I said, is helping us like this, so that we can just start our envelopes without having to pull from the little bit of money that we have, and that we can put that money in savings, like for an emergency. Like, just to know that that's there, like, just makes me feel 100% better. And that when we get our tax return, that we're going to be smart with it and pay down these debts, or pay them completely off, so that we're debt free again. We just have the mortgage. And even that, you know, maybe if he ends up getting, because he's still going through court, like for his injuries and stuff, like for a settlement, who knows what that will be. Probably will be years till we see any of that money. But if it does happen, you know, then maybe we can even pay off the house, or a portion of the house, like a huge payment. I don't know if this video is helpful. It's kind of all over the place because it's hard for me to track it, because I still need to tweak some things. But I am going to take advantage of like the diaper thing I said about Kennedy, the mileage thing, because we can get that. I'm going to call about the internet, getting that lowered. Just if you fall in that bracket of low income family, you know, utilize it. That's what it's there for. Yeah, there's always somebody that's going to need it more. Like I understand that, but it's still there. Like, people aren't using it. It's not going, use it. Like, that's what it's there for. Or just get sent back to the government, or you know, it just goes back into the bank. I don't know. But just a shout out to the Church of the Woods, my dad's church, for helping us. I just got another card in the mail today with another check. Like, it is just unbelievable, like the love and support that we're getting. And like I said, huge burden lifted off my shoulders, just to be able to put that money into our savings account and know that it's there, and to start utilizing our envelopes again. I'm really excited about that. Like I said, sorry that the budget was kind of all over the place. It's still a work in progress, but that's kind of what's been going on with it. And pretty soon, probably the next couple months, we'll be back to being debt-free besides our mortgage, and just really simplifying the budget. Like I said, getting rid of some things, putting some money back in our pocket, using envelopes when we grocery shop, using envelopes for birthdays and Christmas, just like we did, 10 years ago. We were really, really good about it. We just kind of fell out of the habit. So sorry this video was so long. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any other questions. I will try to break this down more once we get like the bathroom stuff finished and the credit cards paid off, because that's gonna, like I said, put almost $330 back in our account once those are paid off, because we were just like paying the minimum on them, and none of them are like super outrageous, so we don't really have to do the snowball thing where you're paying off the one that's the least amount to the most expensive, because we don't have that much, and then we have the homeowner's insurance money too to cover it. So I just, like I said before, it was really hard to break that down, like what was what, so I just included it all. All right guys, that's it for this edition of Home Life with Rebecca. I love to hear from you, so leave me a comment, chicken tendies, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.